the middle of July right now, and this time of year is when I really start to try to dial in some of my gear. And today I was kind of cleaning up some of my boots, getting them ready for season, and I thought it'd be a good time to make a video on the top few boots that I really like to use while I'm out hunting in the whitetail woods. I'm also going to talk a little bit about some of the boot care that I think probably gets overlooked quite a bit as far as whitetail hunters go. You could name about any brand of footwear on the market, and I've probably had it on my foot and have walked some miles in those boots. It took me a long time to kind of perfect my system that I have now and that I really enjoy and that are easy on my feet. With that all being said, this stuff here is for my feet. It may not be for your feet. So take whatever I say as a recommendation on my half. It may not be exactly what you need. I think it's important with boots to kind of go through a trial and error period until you figure out what works for you. So the first boot that I think every whitetail hunter should have is a good pair of rubber boots. These ones are made by Gum Leaf. They are a more natural rubber boot than something like a muck boot or some of the other real popular brands. This one in particular, it's called the Saxton, and I really like it. It's been pretty good to me. I wore it all year last year, and it still looks almost brand new. Something that I'm going to get into with rubber boots right now is actually this product by Granger's. It's a rubber boot care ointment, and this stuff right here, if you guys have never used a rubber boot treatment, this really brings your rubber boots back to life and makes them, look years younger than what they actually are. Something that a reason I kind of went with these Gum Leaf boots is they are quite a bit more expensive than something that you would buy at a big box store. But I've never wore a boot for a full year and had them coming out looking the way these Gum Leafs do. I have no worries in my mind that these won't last me years to come. So that's my first recommendation, is get you a good pair of Gum Leaf boots or whatever other brand that you may prefer in the rubber boot line, and then make sure you get some of this Granger's rubber boot care, and they'll last you a lot longer. Okay, second type of boot that I really like to have is some type of a really nice hiking boot. This is something you'd see a lot of like Western hunters wearing. Now here in the hills in southern Indiana, we have some what I would call borderline mountainous terrain. Obviously that's an exaggeration, but these boots have been a real paramount part of me walking around in the hill country here in Indiana. When you have a cheap pair of hiking boots or unsupportive boots, whenever you get done hiking around here in Indiana, you can really feel it in your feet and your ankles, and you're going to tire up a lot quicker. I went through a whole bunch of hiking boots trying to find the ones that I like, and I've landed on these Zamberlan 980 Outfitters. They're a leather top boot that is super comfortable. They are perfect for almost any type of hunting, and a key component of making these boots last a lifetime is getting you some good leather cleaner and also some leather cream or some type of a leather treatment. And I usually do this process a couple times a year where I'll completely clean my boots with some type of a leather cleaner and then treat them with some type of a mink oil, or this is called leather cream by Cobbler's Choice. This seems to be like pretty good stuff, but I don't really have a particular cleaning solution and treatment that I would recommend to you. This is just what I've had decent luck with. And those boots right there, I don't see them going out of my arsenal anytime soon. I love the Zamberlan 980 Outfitter hiking boot. Okay, last but certainly not least, this is what's called a Dan's Frog Leg hip wader. This is probably hands down, in my opinion, the best hip wader on the market. I don't really understand why you would buy any other hip wader other than these right here. Essentially what they do is they have a briar-proof, waterproof material on the top here of the boot, and it's sewn in and glued into a boot of your choice. This particular one is glued onto a muck boot, I think you could have them glue on or sew on about any boot. I've had these probably for 10 years now, and they're still going strong. I wear these an awful lot in the wintertime when I'm scouting, especially if I'm in swamps or someplace where water is going to go above my typical rubber boot that's knee high. Again, you can take that rubber treatment, treat your muck boots or these hip waders, and you're going to get a lot longer shelf life out of those. When you first get these hip waders, they are a little bit stiff. The tops are a little bit stiff, but they wear in real quick. After a few trips in the woods with these things, this top gets pretty soft, and you're able to wear these around with very little fatigue in your legs at all. These came from like the coon hunting world. If you know a coon hunter, they probably got a set of these that they wear every single night coon hunting. So they're made for walking. They're super durable, super tough. And another plus of these hip waders is if you ever get holes all over here and end up having a leaky boot, you can actually just take these off and cut them off, and your tops are going to look brand new because they're protected by this briar-proof material their entire life of the boot. So you can kind of get like a second use out of them after they're finished, because typically what I've found on boots is when you get a hole in them, it's usually in the neoprene or around the neoprene, unless you drive a stick or something through the rubber. So I can't recommend Dan's frog legs enough. There's another brand that's really popular too. I've heard really good things about those, and I cannot recall the name of those. So some type of a waterproof, briar-proof hip wader is something I think every whitetail hunter should have. Now, something else I want to put into my arsenal that I haven't really perfected yet or found what I like yet is a pair of chest waders, and I'm going to start looking into that a little bit heavier this year. And I was going to ask you guys if you had any opinions on chest waders. I want something that's not so hot and something that's lightweight that I can pack away and just cross a creek when I need to with them. So I hope you guys like this video. I'm going to try to start doing more gear type stuff like this for you so you guys can kind of see what I use, and I hope it helps you out a little bit. If you like these things, make sure you go and subscribe to the channel and tell a friend about it. See ya!